So we're ready to start the second part of spring. We're going to move the letters out. Actually, we're going to work backwards. What do we have so far? We have our footage layer, the cherry blossom branch moving. We have our template, which I currently have turned off. And then we have 6 layers, and each layer has one letter. Right, I'm turning them back on here. All of them move with the branch. I'm going to work backwards. If I select the layers by holding the shift key and clicking on the top and bottom one, I can hit the letter P and I see all of these position keyframes, and those are the position keyframes that we collected with our motion tracker and then transferred to our text. I would like the letters to fall in and then move along with the branch. Working backwards, the last letter in is going to be G. So I'm going to turn off the other layers. And let's say that we go to 3 seconds, 300. I like to click or activate my time code field and then type in the numbers. That's the fastest. We're at 3 seconds and there's my G. I only see my G because I have the others invisible right now. I'm going to change to my selection tool. With my selection tool, I'm going to open up my G. I found it easier to do this when I open up all my transform variables. So I'm selecting all the G position keyframes. If I hold down the shift key, I can get this one. I'm selecting all the position keyframes for the letter G layer before 3 seconds. My timeline marker is on 3 seconds. I'm going to delete. Now I'm going to move my timeline marker 10 seconds back. So 220, right? We're on a base 30 frame rate. 10 frames back is 220, 2 seconds and 20 frames. I'm going to use my selection tool, click on my G and fly it out. And you can hold down the shift key to constrain to one axis. It flew out with its little path that's attached, its mask that's attached. If I select my G layer and hit P, my G is going to fly in and then it's going to follow the motion of the branch. We just have to do the same position keyframe pattern for the other letters. So I'm going to turn off G, turn on N, and my timeline marker is already at 220. So I'm going to delete all the position keyframes before 220 on my N layer. And I'm going to go back 10 frames, which is 210, and I'm going to click on N and move it up and out. So my timeline marker at 210 has just one keyframe for N, which will make N fly in and then follow the motion of the branch. We just have to do this a few more times. So I like to click on the layer and hit P so it's closed, but I see my pattern. This way I can make sure that I'm following the pattern correctly. So I'm going to turn on I, open it up. My timeline marker is already at 210, 2 seconds, 10 frames. I'm going to delete everything before. I'm going to move my timeline marker to 2 seconds. And I is hard to grab. I might have to zoom in. I can zoom in by saying Command plus, grab my I, and I would hold down my shift key, bring it up out of the frame. So I'm going to hit Command minus to zoom back out. And then I'm going to select the I layer and hit the letter P on my keyboard so I continue kind of double checking that my pattern is correct. On the layer R, I'm going to delete everything before 2 seconds, move my timeline marker to 10 seconds back, which would be 120, grab my R and move it up. I'm holding down the shift key so I constrain to one axis. Just a couple more letters here. P, I'm going to open P, delete everything before 120. I'm going to go to 110 and fly P out. I'm going to click on P, drag it up, holding down the shift key, and you see it automatically made another keyframe for me. I'm going to click on P, the P layer, hit the letter P so that position stays open. I'm going to turn off P, turn on S, and I'm going to select all the keyframes before 110, move my timeline marker to 1 second, 10 frames earlier, and I'm going to fly S out. I'm going to hit P. So you should see this staircase pattern of the position keyframes of your letters. Let's see what that looks like. I have to turn them on. Let's turn them on. Let's see what it looks like now with these the staircase of position keyframes. That's it.